Hey everybody, welcome to Screen Realm. My name's Guillermo and today I'm reviewing the Disney Plus holiday special titled The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. James Gunn, director and writer of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, both directs and writes this amusing and sweet little 41-minute Christmas adventure. Now, for me, this is one of those films, or mini-films I should say, where while I was watching it, I wasn't all that impressed. Don't get me wrong, I did find it entertaining and mostly well done. It just felt too light and maybe too quick, so that by the time the credits came, I was left like, yeah, that was alright. But I've been thinking about it over the last couple of days since watching it, and it's grown on me. I think it's actually quite a good special, and I actually enjoyed it more than I initially thought I did. I hope that kind of makes sense. I was both surprised and excited when it was announced that Gunn would be directing and writing a little holiday special for the Guardians, but it just makes sense. You don't have to spend a huge amount of money or embark on a massive production to tell a Marvel story well. And you can drop smaller chapters continuously on the platform that is Disney Plus. And so this Guardians holiday special doesn't come too long after Werewolf by Night, that 51-minute special presentation starring Gal Garcia Bernal that was released in October. If you haven't seen that one yet, by the way, you should really get onto it. It was a black and white horror heavy special filled with influences from cinema's early horror creations. Ultimately, Werewolf by Night was very entertaining, and it definitely had a more violent edge for the MCU, which of course I appreciated. Now back to the Guardians holiday special. The plot here primarily follows Mantis, played by Pom Klementieff, and Drax, Dave Bautista, as they head to Earth in an effort to find the perfect Christmas gift for Peter Quill, Chris Pratt. You see, Peter hasn't been doing too well since Gamora's departure, so his friends have decided to cheer him up by giving him a celebration of that Earth holiday known as Christmas. Oh, and that perfect gift is Kevin Bacon, the actor. Kevin Bacon. James Gunn has said that he wrote this Christmas special in a matter of hours. Now, that's some talent because the result is a pretty confident, fast-paced chapter that is, well, pretty much what you'd expect or want from a small Guardians Christmas chapter. Now, I'll point out that I did want this to be a bit longer and not all of the jokes really hit home for me, but James Gunn knows these characters so well and he has such a knack for bringing in a good amount of heart among pretty bonkers narrative lines that he had me on board for the ride. It was nice to see Mantis given what's essentially a lead part to play, and although it is only a short story, the character is fleshed out enough thanks to the previous films that her arc here manages to work on an emotional level. And having her dealing with quite the secret related to Peter adds emotional weight that I thought paid off really nicely at the end. Aside from getting a strong arc, Mantis also gets to spark up a lot of laughs here. A Mantis and Drax story isn't exactly the first pair up that I would have imagined for a Guardians special, but they're both great together. Drax's lovable simplicity and unawareness is of course a key factor in much of the comedy, but his humorous antics are matched and furthered by Mantis. It's funny, she finds herself forced to be like something of a stern mother on occasion, and seeing her get angry at him is pretty amusing. The pair are also given a bit of an action sequence involving police officers. The sequence itself is not really anything special, but it was nice to see Drax easily flip a car and take some bullets. Kevin Bacon is one of the special's big pleasant surprises. I wasn't too sure how much Kevin Bacon would have to do here, but it's a much bigger role than I expected. And you can tell that Kevin Bacon is really having fun playing himself, or a version of himself, in a story that playfully pokes fun at not only Kevin Bacon and some of his past roles, of course Footloose is referenced, but pokes fun at actors as a whole. It's quite funny seeing these cast members talk about just how awful actors are. The short runtime of course means that we don't get to spend too much time with other members of the Guardians team, although I certainly appreciated the sheer amount of characters that we actually do get. I won't list them all, but Gunn brings in a surprising amount of characters here. Some are inevitably glossed over, but it doesn't feel overly crowded considering the small narrative. It was nice to see a now older Groot, and another certain character is brought back in animated scenes that bookend the special. These animated sequences are really nice and they add touching layers to Pratt's relationship with this certain character, and it was also nice to see that rotoscoping animation style brought back. As for Peter Quill, he's also here more than I expected him to be, and well, Chris Pratt, once again, he's always acing it in this role, and he's great as a much less enthusiastic Peter than usual, but let's face it, this spiritless Peter is of course with good reason. This isn't a major installment in the MCU or an ambitious Guardians adventure, but it doesn't really aim to be one, and admittedly, having these characters and visiting this corner of the MCU for a breezy little story was kind of jarring for me. But it's a holiday special, and don't forget, Gunn has Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for those of us wanting the next big chapter. Here, Gunn has crafted a fast, well, maybe too fast in my opinion, and sweet adventure that mostly ticks off the right boxes for a fun special. And importantly, it has a sweet message for the festive season and what Christmas means when it comes to friends and family. 3.5 stars out of 5. And those are my thoughts. Have you seen the special? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you meh about it? Let me know in the comment section below, and as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you still haven't, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all things coming from Screen Realm. Catch you soon.